Hi, this is Kelsey from Huron Waters, and today I will be showing you the making of a plaid soap. This is my first attempt for a plaid soap, and I hope you enjoy watching. The soap I will be making today is, the oils are cocoa butter, coconut oil, avocado oil, olive oil, and castor oil. I use the heat transfer method using my hot lye solution to melt my solid oils and butters. Coconut oil melts right away, but cocoa butter takes quite a bit longer. Now I'm adding my solid oils. And unfortunately, I only had extra virgin olive oil at this time, which is why my soap batter is very green. Which will be a bit of a problem later when I am adding my colors. I'm going to be stick blending to emulsion only at this point because I will be adding fragrances and colors later, and I do not want the batter to get too thick. I will be showing you an emulsion check. There we go. That looks perfect. No separation. So everything is nicely emulsified. This is my first layer, which is going to be my white layer. I'm going to be splitting the batter into 3 parts. My titanium dioxide was outside in my workshop, which was at probably about 10 degrees Fahrenheit, so it is frozen because oil does freeze when it gets cold. But I just scoop it up and plop it in there and we're good to go. Because it's just cold. It's not bad. Just frozen. I will be pouring each of my colors into 3 different molds. Because this isn't going to be a swirl, they're going to be 3 separate blocks. The scent I am using is a blend of black pepper, rosemary, and lemongrass essential oils. Second layer, I am going to be using indigo to color it dark blue. Half teaspoon per pound of oils mixed with 2 tablespoons of very hot water and allowed to steep. That is the best way to get a dark blue. As long as you're not using extra virgin olive oil, because now we are getting kind of a green, but it's pretty anyway. Yeah, that's me making a big old mess with my stick blender. And the third batter is a mix of indigo, again, and titanium dioxide, because this is going to be a light blue layer, or as you can see, a light green layer. This is a 4-pound batch of soap, and that's going to be 2 pounds of the light, 1 pound of white, and 1 pound of dark. Because that is how I'm going to make the pattern for the plaid. And I will be covering each of these with cling wrap and putting them in the oven to see-pop and gel. And this is the next day, and the cling wrap looks like it hit the soap, and that's why it's all wrinkly on top, so keep an eye out for that. I am using my slab cutter at the 1/2 inch mark to make horizontal cuts, 1/2 inch thick of each of these soap loaves. And the color on the inside of these looks a bit darker than on the outside. Well, not for the white, because it's white. But as you can see, using extra virgin olive oil definitely changed the color of the soap itself. Now I will be using it horizontally, still on a 1/2 inch. Sorry, vertically, yep. To make long 1/2 inch square canes. 2 at a time to save some time here. Because it's a lot of cutting into a lot of little canes. And there they all cut up. Okay, using distilled water, only distilled water because it is clean from all germs. I am going to be making the first layer, which is a pattern of white, light blue, white, light blue, white. Using the distilled water to stick them all together to hopefully form a solid piece when it dries. Squishing them together gently because you don't want to distort the actual soap because it is very soft at this point. Next level is light blue, dark blue, light blue, dark blue, light blue. Again, lining it all up, smushing it together, and then using distilled water on the first layer, I'm going to be sticking the second layer on top, making sure all of the edges and sides are square. And pressing down firmly to make sure there's no air pockets or water bubbles. And I will continue on every other layer for a total of 7 layers until I have the pattern complete.
As one such chord produces musical for molecules inherent in the sound.
Gravel road. A mechanical. Whereby
Periodic motion of the particles of an elastic body or medium and alternately opposite from a position of equilibrium. When that equilibrium has Earth's disturbed musical tones or molecules in the air transmit sounds to the ear.
Gravel road. Phenomena.
Position of equilibrium.
Gravel road. Where resolutions.
Periodic motion of an elastic body and a medium in slightly opposite direction. Direct sounds to the ear
on a gravel road.
And there's my finished product. Going back to my slab cutter again. I am using still 1/2 inch up, but I'm using a 1/4 inch platform to cut a 1/4 inch of soap off the top, bottom, left, and right. I'm also using a push block to try and keep it as together as I can. You'll definitely have to be careful because these little pieces do want to escape from each other. Then I'm going to be moving my wire up to the 1 inch mark so that I can cut my individual pattern. First horizontally and then vertically. 1 inch each to make my 6 plaids that are going into the finished soap. I cut a skewer to length for the length of my mold, and I am trimming off the ends of all of my cube canes so that they will fit properly. Oh, that looks good. And I'm taking off both sides to make sure it's a nice clean cut. Clean ends to go in my mold. All right, now I'm going to be making the outer soap that will stick all these cubes together. I'm not using a heat transfer method for this soap, although the formula is the same, because I want this to remain as fluid as possible for as long as possible, because it's going to take a while to put all this together. I'm going to be coloring it with activated charcoal at 1 teaspoon per pound of oils. I am not going to be scenting it, however. Just blend it to emulsion and no further. Nice shiny black soap. All of those little tiny wood pieces, in case you were wondering, are my spacers that I cut out from bamboo skewers. This is my first layer that will be going on the bottom. I'm going to be putting 3 little spacers on each side, left and right, that I'm going to be setting my long soap canes on to keep it off the bottom, to keep the levels the same. Using a longer skewer to move them around, try and keep my hands as clean as I can. And the long ones there I'm going to be using to keep the canes apart from each other and away from the sides, so that the black will go where I want it to go. Now getting this all to fit in here was a little bit of a challenge. Getting things shoved over, but not too far, because you don't want it to make a weird indent into the soft soap that you're working with. Don't worry, they will all fit. Just doesn't look like it right now. Desperately making sure I don't stab the soap. Making sure the 3 canes are level. And all the way down to the bottom spacers. Now I will be adding the second middle layer of the soap and adding more spacers on the top. And here I am adding more soap batter to make sure that the level of this layer is 1/8 of an inch, by pouring it just until it covers the top of those spacers. There we go. Here we go for cane layer too. Much easier to put these in once those sticks are already there. No fighting really. Smush. Okay. I gotta push those in to make sure they're level. So you can tell that one on the corner is sticking up where it's not supposed to be. Can't push too hard though, or the soap will just smush into the spacer underneath it, and that will not do me any good. And then the rest of the black on top to fill up the rest of the mold. And here we are the next day for the unmolding. Solid black. Taking off all the long spacers. I can't really take off the little ones because, as you could see before, they were kind of stuck in that soap better pretty good. But I made sure to line it up on the cutter here so that there wasn't any chance that I was trying to cut wood with wire, because I don't think that would work out too well for any of us. And here we go with the cut. Nice soft soap at this point because it's just a day later. No problem getting through it. Gonna separate out these bars a little because they are still a little sticky. Oh, sneak preview. And there it goes. That is a Plaid soap. For a first attempt, I am very pleased with how these turned out. I learned a lot. Probably a few things I would do differently second time around, but I really like these. And the scent is really good. Very earthy and herbal. Just a little bit bright with the lemongrass. But yeah, overall, very happy with these. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I hope you might feel brave and try to make this soap for yourself. Again, I'm Kelsey from Huron Waters, and thank you for watching.